In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the spot healing brush tool and the stamp tool to hide specific portions of your image. So first of all, one thing that I always like to do is I like to go to the layers palette and create a duplicate so that I can always go back to my original if I make any mistakes that I really hate. And so I can double check to make sure that any changes that I make are purposeful. So what I want to do is I like this image. I like that the girl is in the center, but I don't think I really want care about this person here. So I want to remove them from the scene. Usually it's a better idea to be conscious about my photo taking and just wait till that person moves out of the scene, ask them to move out of the scene, or compose my image so that he's not part of it. But you can't always control everything. So there are different tools within Photopea to be able to make that changes. So I'm going to zoom in so that we can focus on this person. But over in the tools, there's a variety of interesting tools that you can use. One of them is the spot healing brush tool. It looks like a band-aid with a little marker next to it. In other programs, it might look like a band-aid with a little circle next to it, or it might look like a circle with an arrow pointing to another circle. And what they do is they move areas from one part to another part and tries to hide whatever you paint over. Now, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change my settings. I like having a soft edge to it, and then I can change the size of my brush, but that's not too bad. But if you need to, go and change those. Now I'm going to come back to my person. What I'm going to do is if I click and drag, it's going to paint over a section. And I'm going to paint over everything that I want to remove, and then I'll let go. And it takes a little bit to load, but you can see what this tool does is it erases objects. Well, really what it does is everything that you paint over, it looks around to the background. Everything that surrounds that area that you painted over and takes some information from there. Notice this little strange bits right here. It's because I erased over the person that used to be over here, but it looked to what was immediately next to it and copied it. And what was immediately next to it was leg. So things that I can do is I can paint over that again, and hopefully it understands that I don't want that there. But we can see that it brought some trees in, as well as down here, I still have the shadow. So I could try painting over that shadow and seeing if the computer understands what I want. And it does. It removed that reflection and shadow pretty well. Let's see if I can remove that green that was copying from it, and that's pretty good. So I can keep on doing that, and that works sometimes. Another tool that we can use is the stamp tool. Now the stamp tool looks like a stamp, like an old school stamp. But the clone stamp, again, what it is a brush, and you can come up and you can change the brush properties in the same way. I always keep a soft edge so that it transitions better, but I think I want to remove this shadow right here. So if I press Option or Alt on a PC and click, what it does is it steals some information there, and I can use it over here. And as I click and drag, and you can kind of see that my arrow is stealing little bits from what used to be and is moving it to my next section. And this can be really cool for duplicating things, but it can also be good for hiding things. Again, you guys don't need to be technicians. I would probably not spend too long editing things. And I lost a little bit of the side of the bank right there. But I don't, all right, sorry, lost my train of thought. You don't need to be technicians, Photopea exclusively, but it does help to be able to create the scene that you want and to have more control over your design. Now we can see that I've cleanly removed that person, their reflection, and their shadow, and you don't even really think about it. Notice that it kind of added extra trees there. So if I wanted a little bit more control, maybe I would go back to my stamp tool and move the trees from the background into there instead of the trees that are on the side. But that's not too bad. You don't think about it so much. You think about just this girl that is centered. So use the spot healing brush tool and the clone stamp tool to your advantage.